Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Prost.
Prost.
Been a while.
It has been a while. 1 liter of liquid is being consumed.
Hey, Sean and David. Hey, I got a good question for you. And anyone who wants to chime in on this on Spotify, there is a little comment section underneath the podcast videos, you can comment on audio, track, whatever you want to call this podcast. What would be the title to your book? If you had a book about your life, what would the title be?
Oh, shit. I feel like I haven't reached my final form, so I don't know. Like, I feel like it's always...
What would chapter 1 be? We're only on chapter 1 right now.
Yes.
So not chapter 1, volume 1.
Volume 1? There's multiple chapters in volume 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Fuck, the title of my life so far.
You would call it So Far.
No.
I was going to say, that's so fucking lame.
I don't know. It's really put me on the spot because, I don't know. I feel like I haven't achieved enough yet.
Come on, bro.
To write a book on myself.
Just fucking suck the dick of imagination and come
What would
up
you
with
call
something.
yours?
Agony, ecstasy. Agony.
It sounds really painful.
Agony, ecstasy.
Agony, ecstasy. I feel like you've thought about this a lot.
Yeah. They are. Yeah. So it would be agony, ecstasy, more.
Green light.
Please comment at the bottom of this video what the name of your book would be. And don't be shit about it.
Don't be shit about it.
Can I give you your name for now? What I think yours would be?
Absolutely. I think it would be like The Boy Who Lift or something.
The Boy Who Lifts. I like that. That's clever.
The Boy Who Lift.
I'd say yours would have a cool name, like one of the Halo campaigns. Like yours would be like yours would be like Winter. Yours would be like Winter Nutrition or something fucking
Winter
gangster.
Nutrition.
Like Halo, in the game Halo, you've got fucking maps like the Silent Cartographer, Fallen Unto Dawn, Pillar of Autumn. I just feel like yours would be tying in with like efficiency and being very, like if you were ever trapped in the wilderness and if there was like you and a bunch of your friends all in like you line your friends up. And Philip's in that line, and someone said, you can be stuck in the wilderness with one of these people. You're going to choose Philip because he's going to be like, oh, dude, we'll wrap a plastic bag around this tree's branch, and the condensation will naturally give us fresh water. Or he'll have a bag with like 30 pockets in it with like every kind of utility you need to survive.
I would have that, yes. You're right.
Maybe,
resourceful.
Maybe we call yours the bulked utility. I don't know, like something cool, like utility boy.
Utility boy. We've just gone from bulk to just utility boy.
Yeah.
That's my biography.
Geets utility. Yeah. Filtered water is pretty cool as well, that filtered reality.
Filtered water, yeah.
Tell everyone about your exploits in the caves recently and your loss.
So just recently went canyoning and obviously take the GoPro, get some good footage through the canyons. So you literally, you join this tour and they provide you with like wetsuits. They provide you with these backpacks with holes all through the bottom. So they're like wet backpacks.
Did anyone do it barefoot?
No, you can't. There's too much to trot on.
So
you're wearing shoes, you put these backpacks on in your normal like gym attire, and then you waltz down to the start of the canyon. So you got to go like down into it. and then you get changed into wetsuits, and you're wearing these backpacks, and you have a dry pack in your backpack, so you put your dry clothes in there, roll it all up, and then you just start exploring through Canyonland.
How long does it go
Sick.
for? Like, how many meters would it be until you get to the waterfall?
This one's not a big one, so this was like maybe 2 hours total, including everything.
That's way longer than I expected. That sounds
Yeah, but that's
so
like
fun.
you waiting for other people to abseil and stuff.
True.
And
So if there was just you and Em and a tour guide, would it be like 30 minutes?
no, it'd probably still take longer because it's a decent walk to get there. You're sweating, change,
Cold
get
water?
in cold water. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And like, first you're just like, oh yeah, my shoes are gonna get wet, but it's literally as soon as you start, you're just walking through knee deep water. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
What kind of
we're in-
shoes did
in-
you
in
take?
ca-
You just like,
Just like runners, old runners,
Mm,
tie them up nice and tight.
nice. I was just going to
But
say,
the
what
sand
kind of,
like
is the
gets
grip
in your,
right?
it gets in your socks and stuff. So next time I might wear high socks and like tuck them into the wetsuit.
I just wear shoes without socks on.
Nah, bad.
Why that?
Bad, because then you get the sand just rubbing on your skin between the shoe and your skin. Fuck you up.
True. Okay.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up. They specifically say to wear socks.
Yeah. Oh,
But
true.
yeah, I'm like getting shots with the GoPro, boom, boom, boom. It's all sick. And then there's like right at the end, before the waterfall, there's like a little drop off. It's maybe a 3-meter jump. Like, yeah, you want to do the jump? Yeah, sick. So I film first. M jumps down into the water, and I'm like, yeah, sweet. I throw the GoPro in, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to hit her. And I've got a float case on this GoPro, but I think last time I used the float case, I had like a small handle on it. I put this bigger handle on that extends and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll just throw it down. And I didn't want to throw it too far and hit her. So I like threw it pretty shallow, and it like went into the water and went down a bit. And I was like, it'll float back up. It's not floating back up. Just see it like disappear into this murky water in this like little pool that's maybe, I don't know, 4 meters across. I was like, oh, great.
How deep was the pool?
They reckon like 6 meters.
Mm.
Like it's like there's water pouring into it constantly. So I jumped down and I'm like trying to dive down and see if I could feel it. And I'm like, nah, they're like, that's really deep.
So you went up to the guy.
I was like, wow, that's shit. And still recording, by the way. So I've thrown it as it's recording and it's just gone. Boop, 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 boop. I'm like, great.
this is going to be, I cannot wait to see that footage.
I know.
Wouldn't it
So
be sick if it was
spoiler
a-
alert, I've got the GoPro coming back to me. They've got a mate. One of the tour guides was like, oh, we got a mate that like dives down here. We can see if we can find it. He brings like a big freaking torch because it's like really murky water. So he brings like this dive torch. And like, yeah, he'll. And I'm like, yeah, I'll pay him. And they're like, yeah, he'll take your money. I
How
was
much
like,
did you
good.
pay him?
Well, he messaged me because they were like, how much would we pay for this? I'm like, oh, the GoPro, like I've had it since 2018.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd give him $100, and then was like, well, why don't we like offer him $200, give him $100 each? I'm like, oh fuck, okay. And then he messages me. He's like, hey, my mate said you lost a GoPro. I'm like, yeah, float case, blah blah. It was in the second last pool before the waterfall, so I didn't even get footage of us abseiling down the waterfall because I lost it before that. And he's like, yeah, I'll go and have a look. Tomorrow afternoon. I was like, cool. And he finds it. So by the time I edit this, I should have it and I should have some footage. So I'm going to play some footage here of just the GoPro being thrown and then just sinking into the abyss. That'll be sick.
See like the rocks on the side, like a big circle.
What did he say the charge was?
Oh, it would be dead. Like I don't think he tried
No,
to
like-
turn.
like
Sorry.
before you even offered 200, did he say?
Because I didn't know. I was like, should I offer? Should I see what he normally asks people? Because he's done this before, obviously. So he's like, all right, yeah, I'll go look for it. If you agree, it's $60 for me to go down there. And I was like, that's awesome, man. But I was like super stoked because I was like, man, that'd be so cool. If you can find that, I'll give you $100. And he was like, yeah, cool. Let me find it first. I'm like, sweet.
Nice.
I paid him $100 and then I was like, can you express post it? So he's put it in a little express box and it's coming over to me.
Can I say that's such a good ending. But can I say, the other
I don't even know if the GoPro still works. Like, I've had the same GoPro before and it's leaked water inside and broke. So that thing was down there for like more than 24 hours. So it could have leaked inside, but at least the SD card should be fine because they can just chill in water and they won't lose.
really
Unless it
SDs,
rusts,
yeah,
then we're fucked.
maybe 30 hours, maybe a little. But dude, what was funny is like a couple of days ago, Philip and I were talking on the phone about getting a metal detector and going around, and Phil's like,
Yeah.
no, cool, we should go early, like 3 a.m. We mentioned it because like nobody wants to fucking be that asshole at the beach. You look like a fucking stinky ass turd.
You look like a creeper. You're
Yeah,
like,
but then you've literally just paid $100 to someone who does that anyways. Like he probably
nah, but he just dives down
he
with
dives
a torch.
to find rings and phones and everything and fucking detritus GoPros and all that shit. So dude, he's a glorified fucking metal detector butthole.
But I literally said to him as he was posting it, because he only posted it today, and I was like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks so much. I'm like, I'm sure it happens all the time. And he's like, not as much as you think, actually. And I was like, thanks, bro. I'm just a fucking idiot that didn't test whether my GoPro floats with my big handle.
That sucks that you didn't get the abseiling. Was that the best part though?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I think going through the rocks would have been the sickest part, like the cave.
That I've got footage of, so we're like going through canyons and shit. But
So you're trudging and then like you got to dive under things or anything like that? Or?
nah, not that extreme. Just like a little valley, like a little canyon bit.
Is it
But
cool?
you like climb up on a rock and then you got to jump down because it's like a mini waterfall. It's pretty sick.
This is up the Blue Mountains, right? How
Yeah.
long does it take you to get there?
To drive there, and like hour and a half, hour and 40.
Bro, I want to go now.
Yeah, you got to come canyoning.
That'd be
We'll
sick.
do it again. These blokes, the two guides, they were like, because I think we were probably the fittest on that group. There was only 6 of us, but they were like, yeah, you should come do this and this waterfall, because it's like a way bigger tour. That it's like an 8-hour day.
Oh
And I'm like, oh
Dude,
yeah.
would you get a camel pack for that?
Well, we had water bottle in the backpack and everything. So you wear this big backpack and you jump in the water and it's got like holes all in the bottom. So when you come out, it's just like
Clever.
so good.
I'd take big fucking Maximus Gatorade and like a 4-liter bottle of water.
Mm,
Because that's also, you're getting a bit of a pump too because you've got weight on you as well.
yeah. Butterbox Canyon.
Butterbox, that's what it was called?
Yeah. That's the big one.
That's sick.
Be a sick tour.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's like with the abseil because I think Empress Fall is pretty cool for abseiling. Like you're literally going down the face of the waterfall with like the water just coming down on you. Yeah, like, no, I don't know how to abseil.
Who went first, you or Em?
I did. Yeah.
Were you like,
It was probably going to be different if I had the GoPro because I would have been like, oh, let me film.
yeah.
But I didn't. And then right down the bottom, we like, oh, if you want to do a bigger jump, you can come up here. And we like climbed up the side with the big pool and like jumped down there.
What,
And he-
jumped off the cliff into the water?
Yeah, it was maybe, he reckons 5 meters. It wasn't 5 meters. I've jumped off 5 meters. That wasn't 5 meters. It was
Oh.
maybe 3, 4, if that.
Were you like,
Nah, I got up there and he's like, oh, you can flip if you want. I'm like, can I? Just went backwards and did a mad, like, straight-legged backflip
oh shit.
into the pool. And
I didn't know you can backflip, dude.
Yeah, dude. And then I got out. I was like, that would have been a cool thing to have on a GoPro. And
Yeah.
everyone laughed at me
Yeah,
for losing
true.
my GoPro.
So you just like straight up,
Yeah.
do you tuck your
Angel
knees?
backflip.
Do you tuck your knees?
No, not when it's tall. When
So
it's
you
that
just
tall,
naturally-
you can just... Yeah, it was pretty straight-legged. I would show you footage, but I didn't have a camera.
Oh, I still can't even backflip into a pool, dude.
Really?
That's scary.
That's different, though. That's like level ground.
Mm,
That's where you got to tuck and do a quick one.
mm.
Whereas when you got like 3 meters, you can just with slow motion.
How long have you been doing backflips into fucking water?
5 ever, man.
5 ever.
Like, since I was an infant, I think.
That's sick. Did Em do a flip?
Mm-mm. I think she was real impressed, though.
Of course. You really took the fucking life by the balls, didn't you?
Do you know that at the start of the tour, the bloke told us about a guy losing his GoPro in the pool with the big jump? And I was like, what a fucking idiot. And he was like, yeah, the guy was like, no, it'll float. And it didn't. And then that's exactly what I did. Except I feel like I have an excuse. It had a big floaty case on it. Maybe I'll flash up a photo if I can remember to do it. Big floating orange like foam case around it. But then the handle was just too big and heavy and it just sank.
Fuck, dude. Oh, utility boy fucked up this time.
Utility boy. The whole time. And I was kicking myself because, I mean, okay, disclaimer. First of all, I was surprised how not upset I was. I was like, oh, I was more upset that the footage was gone, but I was like, I've had it since 2018. Like, that it's got its use. And I was like, whatever. I'm just bummed that I now have lost the footage from all the canyoning. I was like, that's shit. But then I was kicking myself because literally right before we went up to that jump to the waterfall, they did like a little demonstration of how to do the rope for abseiling. And I was standing there and I unscrewed the big handle and I was about to get the clip out of the backpack because my helmet had a clip on it. I was like, oh, I'll just put the clip on and hold it. And then when I get to the waterfall, I'll clip it on the helmet. That'll be cool. And then I was like, oh, no, I don't want to get the backpack and stuff. So I'll put the handle back on. If I had the clip on it and I threw it, it would have just floated. But hey, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming back. It's coming back to me.
That's crazy, dude. It's crazy. What else is going on with you?
I don't know. What made you think of the title of your book?
Just
Is it since you've read Green Lights and you were like, oh my God, what would I call mine?
no,
We
did
don't
this-
really have a cool concept like Matthew McConaughey.
Just came to me, Just came to me. Nothing special.
Nothing special. What do we even live our life by? For anyone that doesn't know Green Lights, it's Matthew McConaughey's book, and it's basically the story of how he lives his life just by imagining everything being like a green light or a red light. So like if he gets a positive opportunity, he's like, green light, go for it. And if he gets something negative, he's like, no, red light, close that chapter.
Yeah, I like that.
What a cool way to live.
It is, hey. Maybe I should try it like that.
Maybe.
Well, I saw Napoleon the night it came out
Oh, yeah.
last Thursday, and
What's that?
it was good, man. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And
That's a decent rating.
yeah, like the thing was, when I was watching the movie, I couldn't quite figure out what exactly the story was trying to tell on the side of Napoleon, because his legend is so great and he did so many things that they tried to just fit too much of that in there, whilst at the same time leaving so much of it out, so much of it that built his character, that made him who he was, like big campaigns, long campaigns. The battles were obviously pretty epic. The battles were also sped up, but they were pretty epic. But right at the end of it, it said Napoleon Bonaparte's last words were France, army, and Josephine. And then once I saw that, I was like, okay, that's what, is it Ridley Scott or James Cameron? James Cameron were trying to do with the film. They were trying to portray
Those three main
his
things.
3 main loves. Yeah, so that was interesting. So that's Napoleon's green light. France, army, and that pussy. Dude, there's a famous saying from Napoleon Bonaparte, right? And this is so Chad of him. It's like Josephine was his woman, right? He sends, this is actual true thing. It's like a quote. He sent Josephine a letter when he was returning back to some war front, and it was like, I will arrive in 3 days or a week or something. No, it's like, I will arrive in 24 hours or something. Don't clean. Don't bathe.
Really?
He said, don't bathe. What? You dirty dog, Napoleon. He's probably like, you know?
Don't bathe. Wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
He liked that ripe fruit, son. He liked that. He liked
But
that fish market.
But how much did the bathing even do back then?
Yeah, this comes back to one of our early podcasts. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the stinky boots. And
Yeah. Stinky fucking puss. She's got a stinky puss. I said it twice.
Oh, God.
What was the thing I said? He's like, yeah, do me, Rotten, do me. Remember
oh, yeah. In your Roseberry chapters.
No, not that. Remember we were talking about on the podcast? I had it on TikTok for a while as well. Do me, Rotten. Yeah, he's like, oh, yes, Mrs. Mulroney. Do me, Rotten. It's like we were talking about how stinky they were.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
remember?
I remember. We did talk about that, and they had the big long underwear. Oh, disgusting.
That's rotten, eh?
Have you seen that thing? I've been getting it on my feed, but people have been talking about this. Apparently, anyone over 30, or like almost no one over 30 ever sprints again. Most of the population, once they turn 30,
Don't do sprints anymore.
well, they never sprint again.
They just never do it ever again.
Never again. Like, what reason do we have to sprint in our modern day life?
That's depressing. How
Isn't that
I
wild?
used to sprint all the time as a kid.
Right?
But bro, I've
But when was the last time you sprinted?
I can tell you, like 2 days ago.
Right.
Like 2 days ago,
Oh.
yeah. Like sometimes my bus comes at 7:15 in the morning. And it's literally-
That's the only reason we would sprint in the modern day
Yeah,
is when
yeah.
you're city life.
But
My train!
yeah, gish, 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 gish. But it's great, dude, because like, I think I might have even mentioned this to you or even my roommate. The beautiful thing is that I've been training legs a lot. Like I lift very heavy for my standards in squats and legs and shit, right? And when I was younger, I was really quick, like super quick. And then now that I'm older, I think, oh, I'm a bit heavier, my legs are thicker, I weigh more, that I'm going to be slower. But it's not, dude. I'm like, I have so much power now when I sprint. And I realize it's like, oh, when
But
you
is
look
this you judging it by as you're sprinting? You're like, oh my God, I'm so fast.
no, oh, well, obviously, but it's just like you can compare when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Like, and then when you're sprinting, you're like, holy fuck, I just clock like 5 meters and like a boom, 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 just grum, 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 you know? And then when you look at like Olympic runners, they all got massive quads and hammies and shit. So nowadays, I'm even more inclined to want to test myself. And when I went with my brothers to the beach recently,
Some
we
sand sprints.
yeah, we did some sand sprints, and I was like, this is a perfect place to test it because I'm on sand and I was still quick. So it was fun. Felt great.
You know what you need? Does your gym have one of those sprint treadmills? You know, the curved ones that are just
No,
loose?
my old one did. Those are
You need
pretty
one
sick,
of
though.
those because they give you your speed.
Oh, true.
Like they got a little screen and
Oh.
you can just.
Do you have one at
No, I had one at the old gym at one playground in Surrey.
what about your new one now? Do they have one?
I
Do you have an
think so. I
upstairs?
haven't-
Do you
I
have an
haven't-
upstairs?
Yeah, it's mostly just like
Cardio.
yeah, but
Bro.
the sprint machine's actually downstairs. It's like
So you do have a sprint machine,
yeah,
dude. I'll have
I've
to.
just never used it,
I'll have to come in for a day.
and we'll just test our sprint speed.
Yeah, dude. We should film that shit. That'd be sick.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it on the podcast, and we'll probably be not very fast.
Devastated. Yeah.
But that's crazy. So the only people that would really sprint are people that do sports, like running sports.
Yeah. How much of the population would that be? 10%?
Oh, I reckon less. Are you talking world population? Or are you
Yeah.
talking?
World population, people who sprint.
Well, we don't know what happens in other countries.
This is just Australia.
Well, no, I think they're talking in general, or they might be talking about America if it's on the shit that I'm seeing on my feeds.
But dude, the population of America is far vaster than ours. So the fact that they're not doing it, ours would probably be worse. Per capita, our numbers would be higher of less people doing it. Yeah.
Probably. Especially because we're all on the East Coast and we're all just like, yo, beach, what's up?
Mm.
Rugby. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Rugby.
But so it's people that, well, speaking of like how many people sprint or work out or train or do sports, there was this dude that basically just like, I don't know, he was doing like basic math of if you can bench 100 kilos. And he was like, how many people can bench over 100? He basically worked it out. And if you work it out over the world, because like in the world, there's places where gyms are probably not even a thing because it's a bit more third world and they're not like, oh, I'm so privileged. I get to go lift heavy things and push them away from my chest. Ugh, ugh. But anyone that benches more than 100 kilos is like in the top 1% of humans.
What about squats 100 kilos?
I don't know. Probably the same. They were just talking about bench because that's the meme.
Sick, dude. I haven't benched 100 kilos since like around high school. I cannot do that now.
I remember.
I could probably bench 80 with my eyeballs popping out of my head.
Yeah. You got to get back to that hundo.
I never do bench anymore, dude. I'm always about
100 club.
I always do about the dumbbell press because I obviously go by myself, and when I want to max out and try,
You can drop them, yeah,
yeah, and like
rather than getting
I'm
crushed.
I'm not interested in asking people to spot me randoms.
Mm.
I'm not afraid of it, but I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I went to the gym Saturday night, and I did chest, and I was like doing like maybe 35 dumbbells or something. I was like, I could only do like 3. And there was like me and like 3 other people, and then there's one Asian dude to the left of me doing like shoulders. And just as I'm about to fail on the last one where you were like slackening on my wrists, this angel comes around. He's like, "Oh, I got you, bro." And I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "Oh, you lost it." Oh, like I was pretty much done. Like I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, come on, dude."
Yeah, come
And
on,
I
let me
turned
drop
around-
it. Let
I
me
turned-
drop it.
He turned around. I was like, "Oh, bro, thanks, man. I appreciate it." He's like, "All right, do you want me to get you on the next one?" I was like, "Nah, bro, all good." And then, yeah, for the rest of the night, I'm working out a look over, and like he was leaving, and I gave him like a thanks, bro, and he's like, So if I see that dude again, I'm gonna be like, "What's up, bro?" Introduce myself.
What's up,
Get a
G?
gym bro in there.
You want a spot?
Yeah, you want a spot, dog?
Ask him while he's squatting.
Squatties. What
Want
was
me to
that?
spot you?
Yeah.
Come up right behind him. One more.
What was I gonna say? So you're talking about
Sprinting, being in the top 1% for bench,
yeah.
huge chests, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've lost it.
People over 30 don't sprint. That's wild.
That's
Make sure
wild.
you sprint, people. Use that sprint.
Fuck yeah, get it
If
in.
people listening to this, they're like, I'm going to sprint, pull their Achilles or something.
Yeah, there we go. I remember now. This is completely off topic, but it just came to me. I was watching a video the other day, and this dude was saying he's got like a TikTok channel of like the history of like words and sayings, and he said back in the day in like old timey New York, I think the Dutch settled in New York before. You saw this video? Did I send it to you?
Yeah.
Yankees. Send you that? Did I send that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
So the Americans, well, they were obviously originally like British and Irish settlers and whatever, and they came over. Not so much Irish, obviously. That was later. When they came into New York, and obviously parts of New York was heavily populated with the Dutch, a lot of the males that you met their name was Jan, like Jan, I think. And then another one was Keys, like Keyes, I think. And then so a nickname, they used to put them together like Yankees, Yankees, you know?
Boom.
That's cool. I
New
really
York
like that.
Yankees.
That's interesting, hey?
I thought they were going to explain like how it became New York, but
New York. Do you know what's funny?
New York.
The area is called New York and the city's called New York. So they say, I'm from New York, New York.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
It's
stupid.
so stupid. It's like if we called Greater Sydney just Sydney, and we're like, yeah, I'm from Sydney,
Mm,
because I live in Sydney.
yeah. Sydney's.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's wild. So because we're dudes, we can talk about things. I'm sure there's female listeners, but let's get into some dude talk. So there was a game that came out. So Halo obviously dominated Microsoft and Xbox, and Sony wanted to create like a game they were going to call the Halo Killer, their own version of it, because Halo only came out on Xbox
Right.
and PC. PlayStation never got it. So Sony wanted their version of it. So on the PlayStation 1, there was a game called Killzone, and it was fucking sick, dude. And then they had another little PSP version, and then on PlayStation 2 they brought out Killzone 2, and this came out with the like, do you know when you used to buy a console, it would come with the game?
Yeah.
This was it. And then they made Killzone 3, some other filler games in between, and then Killzone 3 was the last good one, and then they made Killzone Shadowfall, and it was whatever. But why I'm bringing this up is the beautiful thing about the game is like not only is the cool characters and the fighting, but there's a lot of like it's like a look at like pride, ideology, dogmas, and then but the big thing is like it's super anti-war. But
It's called Killzone.
It's Killzone, yeah. But like all the messages behind it are like super anti-war, and it's fascinating. Like when you look at Godzilla, for instance, everyone sees Godzilla as this like big radioactive lizard killing people, but Godzilla was very much influenced from Hiroshima, the bombs being dropped.
Mhm.
And if you look at the original black and white Godzillas, it's very similar. Like there's a lot of propaganda and there's a lot of almost jabs at the West, especially America. So I mentioned Killzone because I was reminded of Godzilla because the same like the bridge anecdotal thing I just said because there's a TV show at the moment called Monarch, and it's like the Bryan Cranston Godzilla movie that came in like 2013 or 14. It's like it's a continuation of that, but it's a TV show. And it's sick.
Is that the Godzilla that still looked more like a T-Rex and less like a human with beefed up?
The new one.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, that's the thingy, yeah.
Dude, I just watched the Rogan episode with The Rock on it.
What was that like?
We've spoken about this bit where you saw a clip of how he basically
Presidency.
got asked
Would
to
he run
run
for president? Yeah.
by one of the parties. It's very interesting because I then had to Google because I was like, is there only the two parties? Like, would he have been approached by one of the two big parties, or is there like smaller parties that are like, oh, let's get a candidate and see if we can break in or something? Or do you reckon he was approached by one of two major American parties to be like, hey, you want to run for president? You want to go up against Trump?
I don't know, man. The whole American president situation baffles me. Like, I much prefer the idea of a prime minister. So, there's always that idea of there's like a shadow government and most presidents are just puppets.
Yeah.
Like, perfect example is George Bush. The dude was a fucking idiot. Maybe he was super intelligent and he somehow managed to mask it all those years. But when you look at Joe Biden, like, I read that Joe Biden had a brain tumor that got cut out. And I heard that his son got the same brain tumor or something similar and he died of it. But that's the thing is, like, if that's true and he had a brain tumor cut out, then certainly you would have some kind of damage to your lobe that would like impair you. So like
I think he's just far too old. Too.
That could maybe he is a bit old and senile, but that's the thing. It's like watching a sports game, and then it's like, oh, what the fuck, ref? Why would you make that decision? Let's look it up at the box. And then obviously they prove that the ref was wrong, but they can't overturn it because the ref's already made his decision, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like they know that he is probably not fit to run the country. I don't know too much about it.
I don't know. Is he even making that many decisions?
Well, that's the thing. A president should be someone you can be led by, not someone who just is the picture, like the face of it. Like this is the thing. Like this is at what point did the leader of the country become not just a symbol, but like you need something physical and tangible to look up at, like Honest Abe Lincoln or George Washington, the psychopathic ginger dude with the fucking wooden teeth, like why do they allow this? Like it's just
yeah, but think about it. That's
replace him, get someone else.
But think about Trump. Like people listen. That's what people think. Like, oh my God, Trump's actually going to do things and But I still can't get on board with the whole Trump movement.
Yeah, but that's another thing.
It's very divisive.
That's
the whole
another
Trump thing.
Yeah. Don't get me. Let's not get into Trump.
What
I wanted to say is that I remember when they had Malcolm Turnbull and they had fucking Julia Gillard and all these people and they were getting voted in and voted out.
That was terrible.
All that shit was happening underneath our noses. We didn't even get a chance to fucking have our say in it. And this is one thing I do admire about Americans and their system is like they're very strict.
Yeah.
Like if you are the president, you're in that motherfucker for 4 years unless you do something really fucked up and they kick you out.
Yeah, something really illegal or something.
Yeah, so it's just like you're stuck there. So,
whereas with us, it's like, you threatened to tax the mining industry a little bit more. You're out of there. It's all run by money.
Exactly. So, but did you? Oh, dude, perfect conversation. Argentina. Argentina has a new. Oh, dude, 2 perfect stories. This is great. We're getting political. So,
let's go politics.
Argentina just voted in. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me look. Argentina.
I saw some clips. He looks a bit crazy.
Looks a bit crazy. So Argentina election, Javier Milei's radical proposal face test of reality. So this Argentinian dude who's running for president, I believe, he's like super right wing, like he's like super conservative. He's like, fuck you, fuck this.
Oh, he's running, so he hasn't actually won? Is
Yeah.
that the clips we're seeing? The guy that's running?
Yeah, I think so. And there's another guy from Norway. This guy's name is Gert Wilders. Or is he Netherlands? Sorry, he's from the Netherlands. And he's a bit out there too. So Geert Wilders, Wilders, says he is there for everyone amid uncertainty over Dutch government formation. So his thing is like, it's funny, before I even heard about him, I saw a TikTok. Fucking TikTok's everywhere. No, maybe it wasn't TikTok, it was YouTube, and it was saying, it was like a joke. It was like, who is the they did a study, who is the most racist country? I'm not sure what kind of study it was, and it didn't come down to America. I think it was like the Netherlands or somewhere like that.
Really?
And then people in the comments like, yeah, bruh, I'm fucking thinking of it. It's true. And I don't necessarily think it's out of just a born hatred, like we are better than you, like a Nazi kind of thing, where it's like you are subhumans. I think it's more to do with the keeping the purity of their lifestyle and the way of living.
Yeah.
Because all this immigration has been moving into Europe. And so
they're just not allowing it.
Yeah. And they had like studies where the crime rate had gone up so far, and the amount of Dutch people or whoever it was who lived in the country weren't even on the fucking chart
Right.
of like statistics of
So
foreigners.
it's all just immigrants.
All immigrant
doing
crime
the
and stuff.
crimes.
Yeah, so when this Gert Wilder dude was like, we're going to remove burqas, we're going to remove mosques from the country, we're going to get rid of the Quran, we're going to fucking stop immigration altogether, he got unanimous seat. Like, people were voting that fucker in. Like the people voted him, and I'm pretty sure he got like 30 chairs out of 100 in a parliament. So the people have spoken, dude. Like, you can't argue with those numbers. Like, if you were living in that country and you were diehard Muslim, like there's any other Muslim, or you were into Islam or whatever, and you saw those numbers, you'd be like, oh, fuck, these people do not want us here.
Yeah, see, that's what's scary about it. Anything that's that extreme is scary.
Reminds you of something, Philip.
You're just creating more conflict.
That's true. That's it. So shit's going down at the moment, eh?
Shit's going
going down. And our Prime Minister look,
I have not heard a peep from
I don't
him.
even begin to understand politics. I really wish I had the head for it, and I should. For me, it's like sports. It's just like you watch I'm going to watch footy this season, and you watch for the first 3 months, and then you're like, I stopped watching it after my team lost 3 games in a row or something. And it's like, for me with politics.
Yeah, same. I'm like, I stopped watching 3 prime ministers ago, which was like 3 weeks ago. For Australia. I remember that time. I was like embarrassed. I was like, how embarrassing. Like, imagine other countries looking in there going, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They just keep kicking their leaders out? What's going on there?
Do you remember when Gillard was attacked walking to our car at the front of Parliament or something? She got like tripped over the gutter.
Oh, yeah, and she fell, yeah.
She fell, yeah, dude. I was thinking, if that was America, dude, those people would have been mowed down. They would have been strategically dismembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Terrible.
But The Rock
running for president.
Yeah, like Arnie running for governor, like how much, I'm sure Arnie had a lot of shit to do, but I'm sure he had a council of people helping him. He was ticking boxes and fucking kissing babies.
Hey,
but
apparently Arnie started some of the biggest environmental movements in
Really?
the States while he was governor.
That's excellent.
So he claims in his book. So I don't know. I didn't cross-reference his claims.
What's his book called?
Be Useful.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
Did you listen to it on Audible?
No. And public service announcement for anyone that still doesn't know. There's audiobooks on Spotify now. If you have Spotify Premium, I think it's 15 hours of audiobooks included in Spotify Premium.
I do have Premium.
So that's better than Audible, by the way, guys, because you can basically get 2 titles of 7 hours and listen to them both in 1 month, whereas in Audible, you get 1 credit per month. Is it on there?
Is Arnie on here? What's
I
it
thought
called
I
again?
listened to Be Useful by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I haven't finished it yet. There it is.
Snagger.
Included in premium. Be useful. Listen to it on Spotify.
I'm
everyone.
right now here in my little home studio.
Oh, sick, dude.
I'm right now here in my little home studio.
Classic.
It's very
Veerman.
good, man. It's very good, and it gets you right in the feels because he's talking about like men and not really having much purpose at the moment, and like how to navigate that in the strange world that we're in.
No way.
This strange, like, very privileged, but very like we're privileged, but we seem to have like the highest depression rates because nobody feels useful, or it's everything's just like weird.
Mm. Yeah. I
We don't have the hard times, to contrast against like they did before us.
man, I'm so glad I'm not into cars, eh? I don't think, unless I was rich, I would never pay anything. I would never pay over 20K for a car.
Really,
I would never do that.
they're expensive.
I don't care about them, bro. I'll buy a fucking
A Ford Laser.
I'll buy a fucking $8,000 Ford Falcon from a fucking dodgy Greek fella. No dramas. But
Bro, it comes with 3 months warranty, bro.
but chicks are into that shit, eh? Chicks like cars.
Chicks like cars. Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of chicks you're trying to go for. Like, are you trying to go for
A
the chicks that
responsible woman.
you're trying to impress with a car? No, probably not. It shouldn't matter what you.
I know, but
you're
being
driving.
being in your 30s, like you have to tick some things, and like you'd want a woman that has expectations from
Yeah,
a man.
well,
you know?
I mean, you could go get an LS Mitsubishi Lancer. It's got leather seats. It's got everything.
How much
It's
does
got
that
the
cost me?
electric seats. It's probably going to cost you like not even 20 grand used. And that'll
Yeah.
have everything. Like I used to have a 2011 Lancer that I bought for 10 grand. It had leather seats, and there was people that
It's
didn't know.
got to be leather.
Well, leather as in like they're leather, they're electric. So you meep meep meep.
Wait,
Like,
so how does this work? So you got that car,
Mm.
you've got it, you're going to keep it temporary. So what happens when you're done with it? How does that work? Do you?
are you asking me how car loans work and
Yeah,
cars and stuff?
yeah.
So you get a car that's on a loan. So you buy a 30 grand car, you get a 30 grand loan, or if you've got some money to put in, you get a loan that's less. Then you keep it for a few years, and let's say you want to sell it after 3 years. This is what the issue that most people run into when financing cars. Here's a lesson on financing cars. If you want to keep a car for 3 years and the finance guy's like, oh, why don't we put a balloon on the loan? That means there's a lump sum on the loan, so you're not paying the whole amount off. So you're only paying a part of the loan off. And it'd be like, oh, the payments are so much cheaper. Let's just do that. But then at the end of the loan, you got to either pay that lump sum or refinance it again. So if you're like, I want to get rid of this car, if you want to get rid of the car after 2 years and the car's depreciated and now it's worth 20 grand, not 30 grand, and your loan, you still owe 22 grand, you're going to have to sell that car and pay 2 grand out of your own pocket to pay off the rest of the loan.
That's what you'll be doing.
Because I won't sell it for less than what I owe.
Mm.
So that's what you got to watch out for.
So you'll be selling it higher.
Well, if you can manage to get a car and then pay it off enough where the car is worth more than what you owe, then obviously you make a profit.
Mm-hmm. I got to piss.
Do you want to have a piss break?
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Toilet break and rehydration. You filled yourself up. You know what I got to do for this podcast? I got to get you to bring me.
Fetch me their souls.
I got to get you to bring me some more like fascinating things. I want you to tell me fascinating things so I can be like, no,
All right.
wow.
Fascinating. If you give me a second, I can probably find some.
No, I'll give you time. Till the next one.
I have this shit on speed dial.
Oh, shit.
Fetch me their souls.
Did you know that
What's playing?
the story of pigeons is so sad? Domesticated and loved for thousands of years and now despised by many after just 70. You know, pigeons were practically domesticated all that time and now they're just disgusting floor rats.
They are. I've got my, I don't know, anyone that follows me on Instagram probably knows, but I've got a little setup now on my balcony that attracts lorikeets. But the first thing that came was like pigeons. And I was like,
Did you give them love?
fuck these things. No, I was like, Get
Dude,
away.
You should make a little enclosure for them. They're fat. I think pigeons are cute. I know they're like
Yeah.
the rats of the sky, but
Yeah.
the rats of the sky.
They are.
Fetch me their seeds.
Yeah, but if I saw an injured pigeon, absolutely, I'd still be like, oh no. Try and catch it.
Okay. Right now, clear your mind. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind. First thing that comes to your head. Don't think.
I'm thinking of injured pigeons.
No, first thing that comes to your
Injured
mind.
birds.
You've got an injured pigeon. First thing that comes to your mind. What do you call him? First thing.
All I could think of was like
Best thing. Just say it.
Pidgeot, but it's like a Pedro pigeon.
Pidgeot, no! Pidgeot, I choose you. I like it, dude. Pidgeot. It's cute, man.
Pidgeot.
I like it.
But no, speaking of injured birds, in my last job, I saved a little
A little woman.
lorikeet.
Yeah.
A little woman. I saved a little lorikeet. I was walking back from the gym at lunchtime, and he was like trying to climb up this tree and trying to fly, and he was like, "Meow." Like, so I got my gym towel and like caught him and put him in a little box, and then I called some rescue people, and they came and picked him up.
Bro, because like, if I was a rescue person and someone said I got a bird, I'd be like, where did you find this bird? Show me the fucking exact tree on Google Maps, because it's likely that that motherfucker's got a family somewhere. You got to put him back. You can't. The guy's like, oh fuck, I'm 20 clicks
He was
from my
young
house.
too. He was young because they get red beaks and red eyes as they grow older, and he still had like a bit of black on his beak and black eyes. So that's how you can tell if they're still a little bubber. But he had also like he had like a couple of broken toes. So I don't know what happened to him. But hopefully he's okay now. I saved him.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if the moon stopped orbiting Earth? So if it
We'd
just
have an ice age.
if it just stopped moving and just stood still.
Would the planet still rotate? Would Earth still rotate?
I think so, yes. But I was confused by this because I was like, what would happen? Like, would all the oceans just like form a giant tide on one side of the planet? Which I believe would
Probably.
happen.
And then if it moved, it'd just be like...
But what would happen, apparently the orbit is what keeps it where it is. So as soon as it stops spinning, it would just, Earth and the moon would just start attracting each other.
Oh, shit.
And it would fall towards Earth. Probably
long?
slowly at the start, but
How
then
long?
the closer it gets, the more the gravity.
Like a year?
I have
7
no
months?
idea, but how scary would that be? Because then as it comes closer, all the water would rush to that side, right?
Fetch me their souls. Yeah. Would we have to destroy the moon and then just live in... Would we just have to live in a cold ice age for the rest of our life?
I didn't even think of this, but
Humans have
If
nuclear weapons, Philip.
if we're still turning and the moon is just in one spot, we're turning and then the moon comes closer and it's just pulling the oceans to that one spot, we're just going to be washing our Earth. Like it's just going to be like ocean on one side and just the continents just be dragged through water.
Tidal waves.
It'll be like the one on
2012?
Nah, what's the Interstellar, that planet
Oh,
with the
yeah.
giant waves.
Fuck, dude,
It would
that's
just be like that.
terrifying. I saw a video recently. It was saying most planets, I'm not sure if it's a gravity or the ozone, but they have their own way of deflecting the
They're
sun.
magnetic.
Yeah.
The magnetic
And then
shields.
The sun actually defends all the planets in our system from
From other radiations from
It
outer
had
space.
like a diagram of it, dude.
Oh, I saw this other one as well.
It's
where-
super fresh on my TikTok feed, so I got to show it to you.
I saw it.
Did it? No.
I think you sent it to me. It'll be
Nah,
in our
no.
chat. Yeah, for sure.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did you?
And it's like super cool graphics, and it's like
What's that? Dude, I send you the tightest shit.
you sent me the coolest shit. But also,
but it's refined though. Like I stopped sending you just dumb shit. Yeah.
well, it's great because
I like how it's
Yeah,
straight.
cool-
Yeah.
cool visuals.
Yeah.
But I like because I try not to scroll as much anymore. So like it gives me a little taste, and that's when I end up scrolling when I've looked at one of yours and I'm like, derp, and then I'm 20 videos deep. I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah.
And then I send you one back.
Look, that's my fault because I forget
That's
that
fine.
you don't really go on Insta all that much.
That's fine. But
So-
I only check it when I do go on Insta, so I'm on there anyway. So.
But I feel like every time I go in there, it doesn't take you very long to reply.
I know lately I've just been clicking on the app more. I don't know. It gets addicting, and then you just got to
want
cut
to
it off
escape
again.
your current reality.
You're just like, what can I scroll? Doom scroll.
Mm.
But what was it? Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I saw another one. It was like one of those science guys that I follow on YouTube. He was like, if we did the whole Star Wars, going at what do they call it? Warp speed. Would you hit a star? And he did like the calculations, and it's like it's so unlikely because there's just so much space, and the stars are so tiny. So even if you just went at like 1,000 times the speed of light, you probably still wouldn't hit a star, like, almost ever.
If you did, though, you'd just be incinerated, right?
Oh yeah, obviously, if you hit it at that speed. But
Imagine if we invented super high-tech computing systems that are flying the ship for you while everyone's in cryo, and then as it's going, it's making small course corrections. Star. It can just see thousands and thousands of leagues ahead, you know? Wouldn't that be amazing?
that would be sick. And you'd want to come closer to a star because you'd want to be like, can we check out whether we can live there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And a slingshot.
We could never.
And dude, imagine if everything was like somehow solar as well. So you're just flying, and then when you get close to a sun and it slingshots you around the
just
sun.
Charging.
Yeah, charging. Yeah.
Dude.
So sick.
We'll never fucking know in our lifetime because like the closest other galaxy to us is the Andromeda Galaxy. And I think it's 2.5 million light years away.
250.
250 million light years away.
So if we went, it would still take us 250 million years or something.
If we were going at the speed of light. At the speed of light. But what fascinates me the most is we are looking 250 million years into the past.
I think it's only 250 years, not 250 million.
Oh, is it? Okay. Let me verify. Sorry, we're talking gibberish here.
I think this is the video that I saw recently. I'm going to send to you.
Is the
I could be completely wrong.
Andromeda Galaxy? Yeah, 2.5 million light years.
Oh, what was the Kepler one? How far is that away? Is that in Andromeda?
I think that's inside the Andromeda. Oh no, that's in our solar system, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's like
that's
just
the one
another.
I was thinking of.
Sorry, yeah.
No,
in
you're
our
right,
galaxy. But I'm talking about a whole nother galaxy, 2.5 million years. So for all we know, that shit could be long gone. That whole galaxy could have collapsed.
Yeah.
No, by the time we've seen it, that whole galaxy could have collapsed 1 million years ago, and we won't see it for another 1.5 million years that it's disappeared because the light hasn't reached us yet.
Man, space. I just don't bother with space, bro.
It's
like,
just too much for us to comprehend.
I like it, but like, I'm never gonna ever be able to comprehend any of it in my lifetime. So it's like politics. I just brush it off me.
Yeah.
Someone tells me something new and fascinating. I'm like, that's cool. Are any meteors or solar flares gonna kill us? No. I don't need to know any more about space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like even the sun, if the sun switched off right now, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes.
Ooh. True. Trudus Priest.
Mm.
Isn't that like you can't be in any there's no center of the universe because everywhere in the universe you are at its center or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Because there is no, because it's just fucking like endless. I don't know. It's weird to think.
Do you remember the Tim and Eric video where he's like, the universe, what a concept. He's like, you wouldn't want to fit the universe into a cone, into a bag. You remember that video? He's like,
no.
into like a hot dog.
You'll have to send it to me.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it after this. But
it's like looking into the past, basically. Every star that we see, we're looking at the past. It's like time traveling, just looking at the night sky.
Do you know what I really want?
What?
Did you ever watch Futurama?
Nah.
Bro,
I had a nickname that was from Futurama. Fry.
True.
It's Philip J. Fry.
Oh yeah, you kind of look like Fry too.
Really?
Nah. Because it's sci-fi, they had like the transport systems in the Futurama universe were like tubes. So it's like you stand and then and you get sucked into a tube and it takes you to your destination and you get sucked out. I love that idea. It could be obviously claustrophobic if it broke down. But yeah, I thought it was fascinating. I'd love to be able to, like, late as Phil, I just step out the window there and I just get sucked and I'm just like on my iPhone scrolling while I'm like going through like a water park tube.
Would you still be doing shit though, or would it just be like a?
I don't think it would be. Well, in the show, it doesn't look like super fast. You kind of maybe going like 10 miles an hour.
Oh right, so it's kind of like Elon Musk's tube, the vacuum tube thing.
I think so.
You just.
I think if it was going G-force and then like some fat dude was in front of you, you'd break your neck. So like that's the thing. I don't know how they'd even work that out, because you remember being a little kid and going to like a McDonald's playground and you go down the fucking slide and some fat kids blocking the path and there's more kids coming behind you. You're like, I'm gonna fucking die in here, and you're just like kicking the fat kid in the face. Yeah, I did that.
He's trying to climb up the slide.
Yeah, I've kicked some fat kids in the face before.
Really?
Yeah.
On the McDonald's playground?
Oh yeah.
How good were McDonald's
like,
playgrounds?
And they'd sit there and go and like laugh with a tearing up in their eyes because they're trying to play cool.
The McDonald's playgrounds were always like lame and small. And then
But they were large to us when we were younger, dude.
Yeah,
They were
but
huge.
every now and then I remember you would go to like a foreign McDonald's that you'd never been to, and it would just have like a giant playground, and it would just be like a maze, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And some of them had like the little end of the tube was like a little helicopter or something.
Yeah,
with like,
and
you
like
could in there, and you're like, holy shit.
Mother! Yeah.
My nuggets!
What was the best? What was the best playground? Like Kimberley Park had the near the after school care area. There was the park with the wood. It was all wooden.
Yeah.
That one, because my classroom was right there. I was always across it. So I always liked that one. But over more towards where the kids get picked up at the front, there's the lower grades. They had cool playgrounds down there as well.
Yeah, they had little playgrounds. Man, there was a playground near my old place in Germany when I was a kid. That was the sickest playground. It was called the Adventure Playground, and it had one of those spiderweb rope net things, the pyramid things.
Yeah.
But it was like the biggest one that I've seen still so far. Like I see other ones now and I'm like, that's definitely smaller. But maybe that was perspective.
Fuck.
But I remember I had like levels to it, man. And I would like slide down the pole and I'd just be chilling at the top for ages. I don't remember
Like
what
Godzilla.
else there was there.
Yeah.
I
That
was
is
just
sick.
like King Kong. I was at the top of this thing. I was like beating my chest.
Kong or Godzilla, who do you prefer?
Who do I prefer? Depends on the Godzilla. Like if it's the Godzilla that's the Madison Square Garden Godzilla.
Matthew Broderick's one.
Is that Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, that's a lot of fish. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. If it's that one, then I prefer him. But if it's the new Godzilla, that's like
The new Godzilla is based off the old Japanese one, though.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
little arms.
That's
yeah.
the OG one.
The new one's
Not a
like
fan.
the new one. I love that Matthew Broderick movie, dude. It's my favorite. Like my favorite Godzilla movie. The
Madison Square Garden one.
Yeah,
with all the little baby
and
Godzillas.
they're like stuck in there on the end, and the French guy's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here." Yeah. And
that went really badly though, didn't it? Didn't that
it
get
got
really
bad
shit
reviews.
ratings?
I don't know, but
I liked
that's
it.
bullshit, bro. Like it's such an iconic movie. If that's one of those, that movie there is one of those movies I'll stop doing anything to watch that movie.
Really?
Anytime, any scene that it's in, I'll be like, oh fuck, Godzilla's on, like 1999 or whatever. Let's watch it.
Damn, son.
But dude, I first of all, I fucking hate monkeys. I think they're vile.
Nah,
I don't care if they're
I fucking like monkeys.
I hate, bro. If a monkey touched me,
Really, you'd die?
kill that motherfucker. eh?
Really?
Even if I wanted to rip my fucking hand off, I'd still beat the fuck out of that thing. But
You better hope it's a little monkey.
Oh, yeah.
You're meeting a
Oh,
gorilla,
yeah.
you're gonna fuck you up.
yeah, Godzilla all the way, bro. I think
I'm a big fan of gorillas though. Big fucking apes.
I think gorillas are the only monkeys, all of the primate ape kingdom, whatever. I think gorillas are the only ones that I can tolerate because they're like big, chill. You know, they're not fucking.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not so chill when they're getting
Yeah, I know, but like,
rowdy.
how often am I fucking gonna be around a rowdy
Have you watched
gorilla?
the chimp doco?
Yeah, chimps are more gnarly than gorillas, aren't they?
Chimps are gnarly, man. They have like turf wars and shit. Like they
Yeah,
got gangs and stuff.
Mm.
Like it's all super legit.
Me and my brother Sean, we watched a doco a while ago. This is a while ago. This is probably like 12
So
years
not
ago
the
or
new
something.
one on Netflix, the chimp one. There's a chimp
No.
doco on Netflix. It's pretty sick.
I'll watch that too. I do like watching the docos because I like seeing them harm each other.
Well, it's
But-
and the fucking weird thing is the humans are like close and they know they're there, but they've like been there for so long that they just get used to it and they just go about their own thing and their turf wars.
Until one day
and
they're
there's
just
people
like,
just like filming.
Yeah, until one day they're like, let's go fuck that thing off. I'm angry.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a doco I watched, my brother and I, and it had it was somewhere in the fucking heavily dense jungle somewhere, very chimpanzee fucking dense. I don't know if it was Africa or something maybe, or one of those countries, but there was like, yeah, it was Africa because there was an enclosure on the top of this hill, this massive mountain, sorry, and there was a lot of like what is it, like rebel fighters, like African.
Oh yeah.
They're always fighting each other. Chigali rebels are fighting the government, you know, and it was so fierce for so long that the bullets and the explosions were fucking with the chimpanzees.
Oh shit.
And some of them, and the camera was on them, bro. You could probably find it on YouTube, this doco, and the camera was on them, and some of them still had shell shock. And some of them had chewed their own fingers off. And you see, and they're like, they look like mental.
The
they're like,
apes are.
yeah, the apes.
Fuck.
The chimpanzees are sitting there rocking back and forth, like banging their heads. And here is Gumfuntu. It is a 12-year-old chimpanzee who had been so frightened that it rarely eats and attacks its others and eats its own fecal matter and eats its own fingers. And it was just like, and then they go through and then they showed like the pack leaders and then they talked about the amount of times that they've killed people in this local like African dudes who've like known these apes for years. They were like literally dismembered,
Yeah,
devoured.
I've heard that.
They always go for the
Heard them, like,
digits,
tearing them apart and shit.
yeah, like Joe Rogan said, they cut off your fucking cock so you can't fuck anymore. Your eyes, yeah. So, and then there was that, and then there was a lot of footage of like, it was like something out of Planet of the Apes. Like, these dudes were in this like dense jungle, and you just see like silhouettes of monkeys, vroom, 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 like, dude, 20, 30, vroom, going over the top. And then they'd move on, and they just like, they'd come across like corpses of some that just like got in the way of the leader and just got the fucking shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, it was depressing,
They
dude.
just roll them, man. Like that's some wild existence.
Yeah.
That shit's wild.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see one of these like tribes in Brazil in the fucking Amazon that like untouched tribes. I'd like to see these motherfuckers come across some chimpanzees 10 on 10 and see what happens.
Oof. That'd be gnarly.
That'd be wild, bro. Because they'd be like, "I look bumping it out. Look at that.
Probably happens. Probably
Yeah,
happens. We just don't even know
They're
about it.
fighting jaguars and shit out there,
Yeah.
anacondas. But like, I reckon those motherfuckers would be crafty with some arrows and shit.
Oh yeah. Big
Some
time.
spears. Yeah, boom, boom, you know?
They'd fuck you up. They'd fuck you up like the chimps fuck you up. They just tear you apart.
Bro, do you know
Probably
what
eat
I love? I absolutely love, and I really want to find somewhere that isn't too far away and isn't too expensive where I can do it, because I would do this for the rest of my life. This would become an eternal
Rest of your
hobby.
life.
Archery.
Oh fuck yeah.
I love archery, dude. It's so sick.
Have you shot a compound bow?
Fuck yeah, I've shot
Yeah.
a compound bow. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. It's so quick. I've even shot the old wooden and fucking horsehairy kind of ones too. But I think I told you this story before, but me and my friend Stevie from high school, Sutliff, his brother was always out and away. And his brother had a fucking, I don't think it was Alex. Maybe it was Alex, the brother above him. He had a fucking compound bow
Yeah.
in his room. Did I tell you this story?
Nah.
Stevie's like, bro, check out this fucking compound, bro. I better get it. And we're like sick. And Stevie had his backyard was probably about 15 by 15.
Yeah.
Pretty decent backyard. It was just grass. It was just like plain grass, maybe a shed in the back. And he was like, check out this compound bow. I think he had like 2 arrows. And like we peeled it back, boom, shot one in the grass, and it just went so deep. And because the grass
You
was
lost
like,
the arrow.
here's the thing, right? Yeah, so we were shooting it at something, and then I pulled the bow back, and then Stevie's like, oh, blah, 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 and he said something, and I went, huh, funk. And it, no, but here's the thing, I think my arm was up a bit, so I don't think it went over the fence, but this fucking arrow disappeared. And then Stevie was like, "Oh, dude, sorry, bro, I fucking distracted you." And he's like, "Where'd that arrow go?" And I was like, "I don't know." And we spent like 15 minutes looking around for this arrow. And I was panicking. I was like running up and like leaping up over this fence to make sure I didn't nail anything. And we couldn't find this fucking arrow, dude. It wasn't.
Do you reckon it's in the ground?
The
somewhere?
grass was cut. The grass was cut to the earth. So like that thing had been buried somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just gone
Yeah. It wasn't.
into the earth.
The soil was clearly soft enough, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. But
They're
honestly,
gnarly, dude.
have you seen like you've got like I told you about like the English bowman so like the English crossbow kind of revolutionized archery back in the medieval times. It's just like the English crossbow was just leagues better than any other bow,
yeah.
right? And they actually found is like huge apparently, and they found skeletons of archers, and the arms were distorted. The bones of their arms had actually like distended, I think, because they were so used to shooting that.
And it'd be always on the one side.
Probably
so
shooting
one
it.
arm would develop this certain muscle and the other one would just be for pulling back.
Yeah. And you think about it, like you probably would have been an archer from a child and then you get put into the thingo. So like that would have been however long you lived, 40 years, that would have been like a lifelong thing. So
Yeah.
you would develop just, you know.
I remember the first time I did archery was on a school camp and it was just like the standard bows, but they had like the targets and I was just really good at it. And they had the swinging milk bottle.
Yeah.
I hit that thing like 3 times.
Really?
And I think maybe 2 other kids hit it and I was like, man, I should do archery. And then I just never did.
Would you wait in one spot or would you follow it?
No, I would wait. I think I had like maybe a little swing and then I would just watch it and I'd be like, yep, now.
Yeah, nice. I've only ever shot a couple of bows when we did. I do remember doing it in school, but that was probably like year 1, so I was probably trash back then. But I remember doing when we had like a medieval tour group come by, and we were probably about 10 or so meters away from this like a little wickery arch target, and I remember hitting it practically in the bullseye ring 2 times, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it was fucking sick.
So good.
But javelin as well, dude. I remember doing javelin. I remember doing javelin in high school in year 8, just tossing that fucking thing, and then we never got to do it again after that, and I was spewed.
Yeah, I always sucked at that.
Because I remember being years later. Because I remember in year 8 being like, fuck yeah, I threw this pretty far. I was probably one of the smallest kids in my grade, but I did all right. And then I remember obviously lifting weights in high school and being like around like year 11 and 12 and being like, hey, sir. He'd be like, all right, guys, we're about to do this today. I don't know what we're going to play. I'd be like, sir, can we do javelin? Because I was like stockier then. So I was like, I wonder how much stronger and how much fucking further I can throw this. And everyone's seen 300 Spartans. So I was like, I'm ready. And he's like, nah, mate, no. Couldn't trust us.
Yeah, probably do it because it's too unsafe. Probably don't do it anywhere in any schools now, except for maybe some private schools where they're training to be Olympians, something.
I'd fucking jump in it for sure, though.
Yeah, we got to get ourselves a compound bow. One of my mates up in Brizzy had a compound bow. It was sick. We were shooting it in the backyard. But I got like the
yeah, I used to get
thing
that
on
too.
my forearm because I think it comes out too far. And
I got that. Wait, I got that all the time.
Mm.
I always got that on my arm. When I went to the axe throwing place recently, they had like the rubber dart end ones, and I was shooting those, and I kept getting it, and no one else had it. So I was just like, there must be something.
The way you're
I think,
doing it,
I
you
think
got to do that more or something. I
we
don't
got
know.
to turn our body out.
Yeah.
Instead of because I go like that.
Strings too close to the arm.
Big time.
Get bruises on the arm.
Yeah, dude. I think I remember coming in and doing the podcast, and I had the bruise.
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah.
I think so.
All right, well, that's a pretty decent podcast. I think we talk some serious shit on a Tuesday night.
That's right. All right, thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Get a compound bow.